I'm here with Paula Pike, who's one of the directors of the Glasgow Repair Cafe, and we're here at the media room at the new Strath Union building. So thanks very much for coming on, Paula. It's great to have you here.
Thank you for inviting me, Eldon.
Super, you're most welcome. First of all, I'd love to get a bit more of a sense for our listeners of what the Repair Cafe Glasgow is and kind of what you're all about and what the organisation does.
Yeah, for sure. So Repair Cafe Glasgow is a volunteer-led organisation, a social enterprise that is driven by a wider movement from Repair Cafe International, which wants to encourage the repair of items for many reasons, to keep them from landfill, to promote a more circular economy, really. And what we do is we host events monthly with a group of fantastic and enthusiastic volunteers and invite people to bring their broken items. These could be household items, they might be small electricals or household goods or toys or clothes and textiles. And we want to help those individuals to repair those items with our trained and skilled repairers, but also to encourage individuals to take part in that repair themselves and upskill them and empower them going forward.
Wonderful. And I suppose the other key question is the Repair Cafe Glasgow a one-off, or is there more out there in the world?
We're certainly not the first, but we were the first in Scotland, although I think there's one in Stirling that tries to dispute that, but we were pretty much the first repair cafe in the model that we do it. They did begin in 2008, I think it was. The movement began in the Netherlands, and there are thousands of repair cafes across Europe.
And I'm here with Leslie. What did you bring in today, Leslie?
So I brought in my daughter's doll who had lost an arm.
Could you talk me through what textiles did for you there? I know it's fairly self-explanatory, but...
Yeah, well, I was actually feeling a bit embarrassed because I thought it probably was a simple fix that maybe I should have been able to do myself, but they just reattached the arm very securely. It's sewed on very tightly, and they've checked that the other one, they also checked that the other one was still intact as well, so they've done an excellent job.
I mean, from my perspective, I would never have been able to tell that arm had come off and gone back on again, so yep. I'm very impressed with that. I think that's pretty good.
It's going to make a 2-year-old very happy.
Wonderful. No, that's fantastic to hear. So I suppose my last question is, would you recommend the Repair Cafe to others?
Absolutely. I was a wee bit nervous about coming because I didn't really know how it was set up, and I thought maybe they would think that my repair was a bit trivial, but staff or the volunteers are so helpful. I think it's lovely that you give people a cup of tea and stuff like that, and everyone has just been so nice, and it was done so quickly and efficiently. I'm absolutely delighted. I would absolutely recommend it.
Fantastic. Yeah. That's brilliant to hear. Well, thanks very much for your time. It's much appreciated.
Thank you. Thanks very much.
I'm here with Maeve. So what were you up to today, Maeve? I know you didn't bring an item in. It's something slightly different today.
So I was taking part in the Intro to Sewing workshop for beginners, and we had the option of sewing either a cushion cover or a tote bag. So that's what I was doing.
So that was learning to sew on a machine, was it?
Yeah, so using a sewing machine, so people could bring in their own machines if they had one at home and kind of get used to using their own tools, or there were sewing machines provided for anyone who didn't have their own.
Brilliant, that's fantastic. So what was the experience? What did you choose to make? And how do you feel like you've learned something from today?
Yeah, it was a great experience. It was really nice to be learning alongside lots of different people with different levels of experience. And I chose to do a cushion cover, which was a really easy beginner project. I did have to unpick it once and sew it again, but it was a good learning experience to work out the right way to do.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. No, of course. And I suppose down the line you might even be repairing some of your own items or repairing items for other people as well. So.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I could definitely see how the skills we learned today could be transferred to lots of other kind of textile repair. The tutor was even talking to me about how she patches jeans using some of the tools that we were using, like the backwards and forwards stitch. And I definitely have plenty of jeans that need repairing, so I could benefit from.
So today is the 26th of November and we're here at the Glasgow Repair Cafe at Clyde Community Hall, and I'm here with one of the other volunteers, John. So if you could tell us a bit about your experience of volunteering, John, just generally. I've started with the difficult questions.
I was going to say where to start. The look in my face of like rabbit in the headlights must be quite something. So I started volunteering in January of this year. So it was a kind of post-Christmas, post-COVID, looking for something interesting to do. Tried to find... I actually was looking more for a makerspace type project. Couldn't find any groups that were still active and happened across the idea of Repair Cafe, and I thought that's worth checking out, for something to get involved in, because it sounded like something a little bit different than my day job, which I work in IT and technology and software, so I spend a lot of time staring at computer screens, and thought I wanted to do something a little bit more hands-on. And so I got involved, and I came with a bit of DIY experience. I wouldn't call myself an expert.
Oh, I think you're selling yourself short there, John. I've learned a lot from you.
So I learn a lot from watching like YouTube videos and things, so I do that in my spare time. I think it's like another guy's at Big Clive, what does the electronics videos. I don't understand half of what he talks about, but I've always had a general curiosity in how things worked. So I kind of learned by doing, and I got involved thinking I can do more of that, and I could learn from some of the expertise of other volunteers. So because we've got quite a pool of different talents, so get involved. So got involved, as I say, in January. Started getting more involved in terms of some of the tool storage, got involved in some of the logistics side of how the organisation works, and as of last couple of months ago, was approached to join the kind of board as a steering group member. So I'm now, so within a year, I'm now on the board trying to provide just an additional voice into the kind of group to start to figure out. You're very welcome.
Hi there, it's me again. So now that you've heard from some of those who've benefited directly from the Glasgow Repair Cafe, I'd like to take you back to my interview with Paula and hear the rest of her journey so far with the Glasgow Repair Cafe and what the future holds. Thanks again. Yeah, so I suppose that leads me on to how you got involved with the Repair Cafe in the first place, and kind of what your role involves almost, if you like.
Yeah. I came across the Repair Cafe Glasgow while working with another organisation, Govanhill Baths Community Trust, based in the south side of Glasgow. I met one of the co-founders, John Dawes, who had set that up through a Climate Challenge Fund grant back in to come along as well. So, and since then, I've got more and more involved, became a director of the organisation and been doing some of the business support to help the organisation.
How people can contribute, but where do you see the Repair Cafe and going forward, and what would be what would be your grand vision?
And the vision that we had collectively was that repair cafes were the norm. There were repair cafes around many around Glasgow, for example, because currently we're one repair cafe, dependent on volunteers to come along, so we really can only meet once a month. But we do get invited to other places, and we do outreach repair cafes at the moment as well, encouraging other organisations or other community groups to think about setting up a repair cafe in their local area. For example, we were in Cambuslang just a month or so ago, which was fantastic. And that's what would be fantastic if we had lots of repair cafes around Glasgow, around Scotland, and we want to be part of that movement to help people to set them up. So yes, we'd love to do a bit more outreach. We want to upskill people as well, so we want to see more people getting involved in the repairs themselves when they come along. Maybe even have an area where people can bring something along and have a go, and we can have a couple of repairers just helping them do that. So it's more engaging, more involved, and more empowering for individuals. But also we want it to be a place where people want to come along because it's fun. It's fun. They want to be part of it, and it's vibrant and exciting. So that's what